Going. Hello, hello out there, everybody. We are live after a little technical difficulties. We know how that goes. But welcome to our webinar today. Kathy and I, our path, Kathy and I share your path to renewal, actually, is what it's called. And we're really excited to have you all here today. And we're looking forward to this, starting this brand new venture by sharing weekly webinars with you and focusing on some health and wellness issues, and then also sharing the path that Kathy and I have taken and allowing you to share your paths with us too and to grow together. We are going to start today by first of all introducing ourselves so that you know who we are and where we come from, and then we'll move into our topic for today, which the topic is, I love this, it is create your life by design or by default. So what is that? How do you create your life? By design or by default? And we'll have a discussion about that and give you a little homework assignments to do before we see you next week. And then we will move into the portion of our webinar that we will share with you the venture that Kathy and I took, a health and wellness venture as well as a business venture together, and that is with Univera, which is our foundation for our business together. And at that point, we'd love for you to stick around with us and explore what we've been doing. You can stay on or you can hop off at that time. So we're going to start by first introducing ourselves, and I'm going to shoot it over to Kathy, my big sister, so that she can start.
Thanks, Anita. So we're really excited to have you guys all here, and we thought we'd just first start with a little background about ourselves. And I am talking to you from a beautiful Fort Collins, Colorado. I've lived here for about 37 years. I am the second oldest of 10 children. Anita's the sixth. So we had a huge family growing up. I've been married for almost 37 years and have 3 grown children that are 33, 29, and 24, 2 married boys. So I think what Anita and I are really hoping to do is to really just share some of our experiences with you, because we all really are connected and we all have the same issues, even though sometimes we think we're all alone in this world and that it's just us that are having these certain things that are happening to us, that we feel that are happening to us, and we don't feel like we have a choice. So when we get into the meaty part of our discussion today about whether you feel that you have choices to design your life or not, or do you feel like you're stuck? We'll get in that in just a few minutes. But what's great about me living in Colorado, I can be in touch with Anita. She lives clear across the country, but we have this great connection together. So it's been great sharing all of this with her. I was a preschool teacher for 25 years and then became a yoga instructor, and still do that now, as I'm also a Reiki master teacher, and have worked in a company called Univera, which we'll tell you a little bit about, with Anita for the last about 10 years now. So I could say about 10 years ago, my kids were starting to get older and leave home for college, and I was feeling like there was something really missing in my life, and not just one thing, probably multiple things, of maybe things with diet. I had gained 15 pounds after having 3 kids, and it was really difficult to get it off. I didn't have a lot of direction. I felt like I needed more of a purpose in my life. I just wanted to change a few things, and I really believe that idea of when the teacher is ready, or when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and because that's what happened for me, and we'll hear more about that. So we want you to get excited about your life, and we want to help share some of our changes and experiences that we have found to be beneficial for us as we move into this, as we move into growing younger together, so up into older age. So Anita, I'm going to give it back to you.
Okay. Well, as Kathy told you, I'm her younger sister. I'm 6th in line of 10, and basically, my background is in teaching and counseling. I was a teacher for 13 years, and then I was a what do you call that? Early intervention specialist and a counselor in Florida. And since then, I have used my teaching experience in a variety of ways, and one of them being yoga. I found yoga at a time in my life where I was really looking for something and felt like something was really, really missing. And I knew that I needed to, oops, sorry, I think I'm stopping here. I'm freezing up a little bit. Sorry about that. Hold on. So I knew in my life that I needed to find something. And at that time, like Kathy said, the teacher showed up. I started going to a yoga class, and just it really transformed my life. And as I'll talk to you later on, Kathy introduced me to some amazing products that helped that physical component of my life when I was having some challenges there too. And I'm just really excited about being here. I have three beautifully spirited young men. I have a college student who's 20 years old and a senior in high school, and I also have a freshman in high school. And they keep me busy, 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 but I love it. And so that's really my biggest job. And I'm just really excited to be here, and I can tell you that sharing this experience with Kathy has just been a joy for me, and just the journey has been incredible, and I just can't wait to continue this journey. We've been able to hook up about 3 or 4 times a year when we live all the way across the country, and just been able to share in this experience, and we're excited about sharing it with you. So right now what we'd like to do is to dive into our topic, and I just want you to think about that for just a minute, the topic that we chose, and that is, do you create your life by design or by default? Is that how you're creating your life? If you just think about that for a moment. Because what Kathy and I are going to show you is that it really is a choice, whether you create your life by design or by default. I mean, obviously there's experiences that are going to happen to us and challenge us, but we do have some control over how we react and how we live in that space. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathy and let her kind of dive into that topic.
Thanks, Anita. So I think the question that you really need to ask yourself is, do you believe that you have the ability to create your life by design, or do you believe that certain people and certain situations are doing things, or it's happening to you and you're kind of stuck and you really don't have the ability to change any of that? I think that's really the biggest question you can ask yourself, is if you believe that you do have the ability to create your life by design and to make some changes. I think we all come to a point in our life where we're wanting to make some changes, and I don't think that ever ends. It's continual. As long as we're here on the planet, we're going to be wanting to make some changes. And I think maybe just people who have, I'm thinking of people who set their New Year's resolutions, and they'll have like 10 things on it. I've done it before, and write them down, and then you look at them on New Year's Day and you're like, wow, that is so overwhelming. Those are so many changes. I don't know if I could even tackle that, and why bother? So many people don't complete or don't even dive into their changes that they want because it's too overwhelming. So maybe start with just 1 or 2 small changes. Take it in baby steps. And once you complete one, then you can move to another and another. So it's not all about diving in and doing it all at once. This is a process. This change, lifestyle change, is a process, and it isn't about doing just one thing. It's definitely, Anita and I we realize that it's not, you can't just take a pill and fix everything. You've got to really look at your entire life and relationships and experiences and see what needs to get changed and what can benefit you more. So if there's one thing you could change, write that down. Also, if you believe that you could change, write that down, or just sit and think about it for a while and see what really comes up for you. Because I think often we believe we can make small changes, but when the big things happen, we think, whoa, unless those people or this situation changes for me, I'm stuck. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of times that's what happens. Another thing to look at is your thoughts. What are you thinking? Go through really be aware. It's a conscious awareness to really think about what's going on in your head, because your thoughts just can go off and you have no clue, and it appears that they have a life of their own. So thinking about your thoughts, think about the words that you say, that you speak out loud to yourself and to others, and then think about your actions. What you do. So your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And think about if they line up, because that is a really important piece on how well your life is going to flow. And how many of us on a daily basis say yes to something that we truly inside don't feel we want to do? Maybe someone asks us to do something, but we want to be nice and we want to please, but maybe we've already done that, or we don't have the time, or we don't have the interest, but we say yes. And then we walk away and the thoughts are going, whoa, I really don't want to do that. I hate doing that. I've done that before. I should have given it to someone else, blah, blah, blah. And then perhaps you come back and do whatever it is you said you were going to do, and you're not enjoying it, you're not having fun, and you're not even present. How does, so that's just an example. But I think we all do it all the time. We say one thing, we do another, we think another, and talk about chaos. So Anita and I talk about that, about those three things a lot, and how they should all line up. And once they line up, our lives begin to flow a lot easier. So I'm going to hand it back to Anita.
Okay. Well, it's interesting, Kathy, because when I heard that concept, that idea, I was like, wow, that is so powerful. And it really did transform my life, because when you think about that, and I just had a moment this morning when the technology wasn't working and how I reacted to that. And there's just little things throughout the day that you can start seeing how you react to stuff. When the technology wasn't working the way I wanted it to this morning, I was getting a little frustrated, and it seemed the more I got frustrated, the harder it was to work through it. And so there's just all those little things. What am I thinking, what am I saying, and what am I doing? So powerful, and can really be life transforming just to focus on that for a while. And one of the things that I want to ask you too, the question I want to ask you is, where do you think happiness comes from? Do you think happiness comes from outside of you, or does it come from inside? Because the way that you answer that question really makes a difference in how you move through the world and how you experience the world. I mean, how often are we really looking out there and saying, oh, I'm going to be happy when I get to my vacation, or I'm going to be really happy when I get the right relationship, or when I get rid of this job and I get my ideal perfect job, I'm going to be really happy. And so we're kind of always looking outside for something that's going to make us happy. And, wow, look at our world right now with everything, the fast-paced world that we have that just is immediate gratification from the outside. And really, in reality, I think Kathy and I have found, and we know it to be true, that the happiness has to come from within. And it starts with learning to care about yourself and learning to love yourself. And that's a tall order right now, because there's a lot of people walking around that don't feel too good about themselves and where they are in their lives. And I think that's where I was when I started this journey, and when I knew that I needed to find purpose and I needed to find value. And I really started asking those heavy questions that everyone kind of avoids, is who am I and where am I going and why am I here? So I think that's another big question to start thinking about between now and next week, when we have our next webinar, which is going to be a powerful topic too, which is going to be about intention. That you think about that. Where have your thoughts been about where your happiness is going to come from? And how does responsibility play into that? Do we allow other people outside of us to be responsible for our happiness? And if we do, how often are we disappointed by that? And when we allow ourselves to take responsibility for it, then really the choices we make might be a little bit different than if we're allowing other people outside of us to make that choice for us. So I think this is really a powerful, powerful concept for you to think about. Are you creating your life by design, or are you creating your life by default? And we probably all do a little of both at times, but when we become more conscious of it, then the choices become more powerful for us. So I think that's all I have to say. Kathy, do you have anything else to add to that?
Well, it was just running through my mind about how do we know that our thoughts and our words and our actions are all lined up. And I think you can really tell by the feeling that you have inside, because if you're feeling peaceful and you feel like it's flowing and you feel like you're in integrity and your things are going well, I think that's a good sign. When something's off, you're going to feel it. So if your words, if you say something and think something else and do something different, you're going to really know it by the way you feel. So I just thought I'd add that.
Yeah, that's great. So what's their homework assignment for next week?
Oh, yeah. So those 3 questions I think that we asked. The first one was, do you really believe that you can create your life by design? Sorry, I'm trying to. Or do you believe that situations and people happen, and that's just the way it is, and you really don't have a decision? So really think about that, or think about if you do it part of the time and not the other. Also, one of the other questions, and I don't know if I even said this, but do you enjoy what you're doing? Do you really like what you're doing in your life? If you have a lot of no's, then you might have a lot of changes to make. So maybe writing down things that you're not real thrilled about that you would like to change, because remember you have the ability to create that change. And then also think about your thoughts, your words, and your actions, and do they line up? And if they don't, you'll know by the feeling. You'll really feel what's going on. Those are the 3 things to really think about. So back to you, Anita.
Yeah, and Kathy, it's interesting, just to piggyback on that. There's a big thing going around, and it's been going around really for years, but this whole gratitude thing, and I've just been seeing it again on Facebook, where everybody's taking this gratitude challenge and coming up with 3 things or whatever, and I think because of the way it is lately, it kind of can get a little bit, you can kind of miss the real true value in that. But it's interesting to find that there's so many people that really can't come up right off the bat with 3 things that they have gratitude for, or 3 things that really bring them pleasure in life, things that bring them happiness, or make that feeling inside, and it is that gut feeling. And so like Kathy said, if you have a lot of no's about if you're enjoying things in life, or if what you're doing, you find value in it, then it's really, really powerful to take a look at that. So, okay, well I love that topic, and I think that just right there where we started with you can be life transforming if you spend some time, some quiet time, and basically that's one of the things that the biggest takeaway that I ever took from yoga is that everybody on the planet needs time to sit in quiet and be in that space of quiet. So we're going to shift gears a little bit here now, and like we told you in the beginning, Kathy and I have been in this joint venture together with a company called Univera. It's the premier aloe company in the world, and Kathy introduced me to the product, so I'm going to turn it back over to her because we both have a testimony about this company and the reason why we are with this company, and we've been with this company for 10 years now, Kathy a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to throw it back to Kathy and let her give her testimony.
Thanks, Anita. So like I said, about 10 years ago, I was feeling like I really needed some changes. And a person appeared to me and asked me if I would like to try a product. And I, of course, said yes, because I was truly ready for it. So that was back in 2003, and I started taking some of the Univera products, which are all about prevention and making some changes in my health. So I started taking one product, and it was all about energy, which you'll hear about in a little bit, and I started feeling better. I started getting energy. In the afternoon, I wasn't as sluggish as I used to be. I started adding some other products in each month and really just could not stop talking about them. I was feeling just mental clarity, clearer focus. everything was changing for me, and I couldn't stop talking about them. I couldn't stop thinking about telling other people about it. And that's kind of how I got into the business. I had no interest in doing any of the business. I just wanted to take the products. But after starting to share them, I started getting checks in the mail, and I was like, whoa, you know, this is pretty incredible, because I just really want to help others with their health, which is still to this day my intention, and sharing with other people these amazing products that really help benefit people in their health. So back to you, Anita.
Okay. Well, I was visiting Kathy out in Colorado, and she was drinking this stuff. And so she, of course, while I was out there, she let me have it. And at that point, I had already started down the road of kind of some health and wellness. I had 3 young children, and trying to eat right and trying to exercise and doing the right things. And so when she introduced me to him, I was really excited about it, and I really liked him. But I didn't really move on it when I got home. And I didn't really sign up for the products until a little while later. I had started having some physical issues, and I had already had surgery. I'd had some things removed, and I was experiencing some precancerous conditions. So I was having biopsies every 3 months, and they were talking about doing some major surgery. And so I was really not interested in that time at that time, because it was going to create some issues for my hormones. And so Kathy just said, you know, what do you have to lose? Why don't you just try these? And so I was open to that, and I went ahead, and I can tell you that I didn't have one of those bam, like overnight feel great things with the products, but I would have kept taking the products because of the way that over the period of time that I started taking them, which is why we encourage people to be on the products for at least 90 days, that it was a gradual progression, and it just kind of changed my whole life around. So not only did the condition clear up, after 6 months things were really better, and after 9 months the biopsies were looking good, and the doctor said, I have good news and good news. We don't have an issue anymore, and you don't have to have surgery. So I was elated, but I would have kept taking them because of the way that they had made me feel. And that was at about the 3-week mark. I started to realize that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I didn't feel like I needed to crawl, or I was worrying about when the next time I could get into bed and lay down, or when I could grab the next nap. I noticed that I wasn't having that feeling anymore. I was able to make it through the whole day up until bedtime without feeling that dreaded thing about when can I lay down and get some sleep again. So it was kind of like an energy thing. I started to feel more energy. And I also started to feel like I wanted to work out, which I had not felt in a long, long time. The idea of working out was like, it just was the worst thing. I was pushing myself through workouts, but it wasn't, you know, something that I was looking forward to. But I noticed that with the products, I wanted to move. It made me feel like I wanted to keep moving and do some things. And I've never looked back. Kathy, you know, once I started feeling that way, you know, I just felt a responsibility to share it with some people. And Kathy took me to the convention shortly after that, and I decided to do the business because I can tell you that the culture of this company just totally blew me away, and it continues to do so. And so I'm still here, and I'll be here. I'm here for the long haul. So what Kathy and I would like to do right now is to introduce you to the company. We have a slide presentation. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And as you know, Kathy and I share your path to renewal, and we say your path to renewal because everybody's path, you know, is really their own, and we want to embrace that uniqueness, but at the same time we all know that we're all connected, and Kathy and I want to share our experiences with you so that you can also have that personal experience yourself. Univera means one truth. We have breakthrough science applying pharmaceutical science to natural products. I'm going to turn it over to Kathy for a minute so that she can talk to you a little bit about what that actual one truth means to our owners.
Thanks, Anita. So, one truth. You're going to learn more about the leader of the company and owner and his father. But for just now, a little story is when they were going into business together. His father actually had already started some other businesses, and they had this dream of one day having a company that that they would share with everyone, and that's what they want to share, this idea of one truth, meaning that real health is found in nature. And you'll learn more about this company. Is the world leader in aloe, and the story behind that aloe and how it lives on today through his father. Back to Anita, but one truth is, it means that you can find real healing in nature.
Okay. Univera is the premier aloe company in the natural products industry and the world, delivering the highest quality, scientifically based, life-changing health products around the globe. Like Stephen Cherninsky says, when you have our Chief Science Officer, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, that if you have the science to back it up, it ain't lying and bragging. It's not considered lying or bragging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does Univera have to offer? Well, we have three things that we feel are the foundation of the company that we have to offer, and that is vitality, strength, energy, health, and usefulness through using the products. So really basically giving you a foundation for your health and wellness. We also have purpose, not only the purpose of being able to share these products with other people, but also to join in our nonprofit organization called Serve First, which is helping to feed the starving children of the world. And we'll talk a little bit about that later, because Kathy had an amazing experience with that nonprofit organization. And then also the business part of it, the prosperity and the financial security. The economy is really off kilter right now, and this is one of the fastest growing ways to support yourself financially. Bill Lee, the owner and the chairman, he is continuing his father's legacy. There is a history with this company with Bill Lee's father, Johann Lee, who in the early 70s was diagnosed with a serious illness and really told to get his life in order. It was life-threatening. And he looked to a friend who actually told him to start drinking some aloe. And he had never really heard about drinking it, but he started consuming the aloe, and he realized that there was not much aloe in the world. And so, being the business owner that he was, and was able to start the company AloeCore, which is the largest company in the world with aloe. And he started that company, and we have over 10,000 acres of aloe in the world. So the culture, the company is a culture of service. It is about helping others in their life to feel, to introduce them to wellness products, to give them purpose in life, and to also give them a financial stable environment. Relationship marketing done right, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But from the farm to the family, right to your doorstep is the way that we did it, so that we can maintain the integrity of the products. We are looking to be one of the top 10 companies in the industry by 2020. We are now like 68 out of 800 and some multi-level marketing companies. So it is about bringing the best of nature to mankind. Bill Lee is fulfilling his father's legacy. His father started with the AloeCore, and Bill Lee has continued on to build an EcoNet, which Univera is the distribution leg of that. So here's the global resources, the EcoNet that I was just talking about. We have two pharmaceutical grade companies called Unigen East and Unigen West. One is in Korea and one is in Seattle, Washington. There we have two full-scale genomic research labs with scientifically proven results. And what is that saying that he says? It ain't bragging when you have, or lying when you've got the facts, or you've got the science to prove it. So and those labs, Kathy will talk a little bit about that in a few minutes, about what those labs mean. And like I said before, AloeCore has 10,000 farmed acres worldwide. One of them's down in Texas. And then NatureTech, which is the manufacturing leg of our EcoNet, has been given the stamp of approval by the FDA. The FDA does not regulate supplements or nutritional products per se, but they do give companies the what is it? Good manufacturing practices stamp of approval, which means that they have the highest quality of manufacturing processes. And then, of course, Univera, which is the business end of that, the distribution leg of the products created at those companies. Why Univera? Because the world needs preventative care, and that is what the foundation of Univera is. Right now, our system is set up to treat sick care, and so Univera is really on the forefront of a new age of healthcare, and that is really getting at the root cause of disease and illness, and that's preventing the things that we experience as we age, because it's really not what we think it is. It's not those disease and illnesses that we have. It's about getting to that place where we can prevent that. Preventative health equal financial benefit. So, like I just said, you know, the healthcare system that we have now is broken, and really what you're paying into is sick care, and you just hope, you know, what people hope for is that when they get there being sick, that something, you know, will be able to take care of them there. But as we know, even with Johan Lee, he did not find success in that industry, and so he looked to something natural. So I'm going to turn it over to Kathy. She's going to talk. I'm going to bring this up for just a minute, Kathy, and put this back on here. Okay. And
you ready?
Wait a minute. Yes. Hold on. Present. Hold on. Okay.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I've seen it the whole time.
Okay.
I didn't have any problem.
I just want to make sure that the slides are showing to the people and not you.
Oh,
That's
well,
why I wanted to do that.
I am seeing the XPDF stuff on the side. I've seen that the whole time.
Oh, you have?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, go ahead and go, and I'll try to see if I can.
So Univera is very fortunate to have this guy that you're looking at on the screen, Stephen Cherninsky. He is the CSO of the company, and he's Univera's Chief Science Officer, biochemist, and best-selling author of 4 books. His newest one, it's all about energy, the metabolic makeover. I highly recommend to everyone who is concerned about their health and eating. Oh, now I see you, Anita.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Go ahead, just if you want to talk about Stephen.
So yeah, I would highly recommend that you get that book, and you can even sign up on Facebook for his the Metabolic Makeover, and he's got great recipes, he's incredible scientist.
Go. Sorry.
I need it. I need the slide. But that's okay.
You can't see the slide at all.
No.
Okay. Technical difficulties again. Hold on. Shoot. I'm having a hard time getting out of here. I can't. Okay. Why did that do that? Huh. Took off the sharing. All right. Sorry about that. You need to go to the next one? All right. Sorry about that. I don't know. It booted me off the screen share. So
Stephen really is the developer of Univera's life-changing products. He's an amazing, amazing metabolic scientist. In fact, he's considered the guru or the metabolic genius of the company. So he's been lecturer and advisor to the members of the U.S. Olympic team. All of his books are fabulous, but like I said, it's about energy. The Metabolic Makeover is his newest one, and I really highly recommend that.
Okay.
So Stephen has some great quotes, tons of them, but these are two of our favorites. He says, because the problem is aging, not our expanding waistlines, not our high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or failing memories. These are the symptoms. Aging is the problem. And until we begin to deal with the underlying causes of aging, we will never achieve optimal health. You have an astonishing capacity for regeneration. By activating your regenerative power, you can slow and even reverse the aging process. How can that be possible? First of all, you have to understand that you regenerate 300 billion cells every day. And that's not just particular people, it's every single person. But the key is to think about what kind of cells you're regenerating. So, did you realize that disease, really, of your DNA, disease is only 35% genetic? The other 65% is up to you and your lifestyle choices and what you decide to change. So the easiest way to explain it is Stephen's simple seesaw on the bottom. And if you can imagine that when you're young, say from an infant up to 35 years of age, excuse me, you have high energy repair and rebuild. You know, as a child, you fall down, you hurt yourself, you repair, you fall down, you break your arm, you repair. As an adult, you fall down, maybe break your hip, and as an elderly person, and it takes a very, very long time to heal, if ever. So high energy and repair as you're young, and then when you get to be about 35, it kind of levels off. And then after that, the damage and breakdown of aging really start to occur. You start to have lower energy. All of those things that we just said in Stephen's quote, you start the cholesterol, the gaining weight, all of these things that are really aging problems. So Univera products work at the cellular and DNA level to bring you back to, lost the slides again, Anita, but that's okay, to bring you back to that build and repair. And that's really what we're looking at, to bring ourselves back to the build and repair system of when we were younger.
I'm glad to know it's not on my end.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's Webinar Jam.
Oh.
They're booting me off the screen share.
So what makes Univera stand out? Why are they different from other natural product companies? And we really have to look towards the science part. I've heard maybe 5 to 10 years ahead of other natural product companies. We have $5 million annual research and development dollars coming from Bill Lee into the company, 100+ million to date. We have DNA genomic research, fully scale proton NMR capabilities. What does that mean? There are 36 genomic laboratories in the world that can test at the DNA level. 2 of them are owned, we're off again, 2 of them are owned by Univera. And that's amazing because no other natural product company has the capability to test at the DNA level. So that makes us stand far out. We apply pharmaceutical science to natural products. They take plant-based botanicals that they also own the world's largest medicinal plant library, and they take these plant-based botanicals and put them through pharmaceutical grade science to create these natural products. Farm to family, like Anita told you. They grow all of their own. And 177 patents and awarded pending. So that's pretty amazing in and of itself too, as most natural product companies don't have any patents whatsoever. They outsource all their stuff, or they maybe only have 1 or 2. So to have 177 is quite amazing. So Extra, this is one of the leading products of Univera, proven, scientifically proven.
Did it go off again?
Yeah. Is it them, not us?
Yeah, it's something on their end. I don't know what's going on, but
proven to reduce the rate of DNA damage in as little as 14 days. Let's go to the next slide, Anita, because there's another slide on this one too.
Okay.
So here's a picture of Extra, showing that all of the different amazing ingredients in here, and telling you what's going to happen if you take extra within 14 days. Energy, to go from tired to terrific. Mental clarity, to stay focused all day. Stress relief, and joint comfort and flexibility. All four things that people go to the doctor for as they get older, as they start to begin getting into this aging process. And it's showing you a lot of the deep, dark berries, cherries and berries. 1 ounce gives you the antioxidant equal to 10 fruits and vegetables. And the recommended dosage is 2 ounces per day, so you're getting up to 20, the antioxidant of 20 fruits and vegetables. It's off again.
Okay, let me see here. There we go.
So our next product is Aloe Select, which is, Univera, as Anita told you, is the leader in the world of aloe. And aloe, utilizing aloe is most biological active compounds proven to be most beneficial, supports nutrient absorption, supports digestive health, promotes immune and antioxidant defense, and provides prebiotic support for beneficial intestinal floral growth.
Sorry. It's having a little technical difficulty.
So Univera has a simple solution for people to get started on their health, changing their health and getting some true preventative benefits. 2 by 2, taking aloe and extra each day. It's off again. So it says Anita's no longer presenting, but we are really having some difficulty today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
All right.
So putting those two together, that's a simple way to just start your program. And here's a little diagram that shows you. You start in the middle with aloe and extra 2 times a day. And then after you are feeling comfortable with that, you can address a specific, something that is specific just to you. Perhaps you want to get healthy weight. Perhaps you want more energy. Perhaps you want to look at the entire metabolism or your skin. And you can add products to go along with your program of aloe and extra. Here is just a group of products that people take when they are looking at the whole metabolic system. So this is the Metabolic Makeover 2.0, taking your metabolism from one of damage to a metabolism of repair. Of course, you see extra and aloe, the 2 products there. And then you would add Regenifree for inflammation. Everyone has inflammation. It's very damaging, and we get it as we age. So a thing to know about inflammation is just because your knee is inflamed, if your knee is inflamed, it's just not localized to the knee. And this really blew me away, because when you have inflammation at any point in your body, you also have it in your heart and brain. So it's really throughout the whole body, but you're feeling it localized in one area. So Regenifree gets on top of that and helps with inflammation. Rhythmatics is the heart health. It helps with circulation. And Anita, you can hop in if there's something you want to say about rhythmatics.
No, it's just heart health. I mean, it really does.
Circulation.
Yep.
Level G addresses blood sugar, which how many people do you know start to get this diabetic? We have like a diabetic craze going on. I mean, it's like every other person that I know as they get older is having diabetes, and people just think that's a normal, natural thing to deal with, and that maybe they don't have a choice about that they could prevent it in the first place.
Okay.
So our newest line of products is called W389. It's skincare, and what I love about it is for men and for women. And they have used taken the flax lily plant and found, and also white part of the aloe plant, and found unbelievable amazing qualities that help your skin. Diminish lines and wrinkles, increase brightness and clarity, and improve texture. I think Anita was talking about, she read an article where the men who were, or people who were in the fields with the aloe, they were getting the white aloe on their hands, and they noticed a difference in the hand that was touching that aloe. So they started thinking about using that for skincare, which is pretty cool. Here's a before and after about 8 weeks, just showing you some of the lines, diminished lines. I'm not seeing the whole slide.
I know, because I think I was trying to figure out how to get that bar off of there.
Okay.
But I lost it the last time when I did that, so I didn't want to. Let me see here. Okay.
And here's another picture before and after. 90 days, taking some of those dark colorations of the skin off that we get as we age.
Oops.
So one great thing about this company is that you can try products for up to 90 days, which is the recommended. And if the products don't work and you don't see, feel, and measure a difference, you get your money back. So really, to me, that was like, oh my gosh, you can try any program of any amount of products for 90 days and do this and get your money back if it doesn't work. I know I can't walk into Whole Foods or Vitamin Cottage or Trader Joe's or any place with my empty vitamin bottles and say, hey, this didn't work, can I have my money back? That doesn't happen. So this is a really awesome offer that this company gives. So as Ken Anderman is one of our independent associates, and he says, I love what he says, if the products don't work for you, you get your money back. When they do work, you get your life back. So people with a purpose. I think this is one of the most, one of the biggest reasons, well, also because the products work, but that I stay in this company is because it is a culture of purpose and service to others, helping others. And every new associate and customer that comes on a convenient plan, which is a monthly order, helps to provide essential nutrients to children for 1 year through Universe or First program. And this is just a really awesome way to help children and help our families and friends. Oops. So this is a picture of me in Honduras in 2012. I was selected to go to Honduras with Bill Lee, the owner of the company, and some other associates as part of a team bringing vitamin A to infants and children up to 6 years of age. It was truly an amazing life-changing experience for me to be in that environment and to meet these people and to help them. Here's a picture at the school with some of the kids with their backpacks and their little uniforms on, their yellow shirts and pants. And I'm with Kelsey from Vitamin Angels. Univera Serve First teams up with Vitamin Angels as part of their Giving Back program. And what I think I was so amazed that these kids were, you know, they're just happy, loving children, just like what we have here. Their parents want the best for them, just like parents here in the States. And there's nothing different. We're all connected in that way. And just to have this ability to reach out to them was just truly amazing. Here I am. This was at one of the communities that we were in. In some of the communities, they do not have milk. They have no milk whatsoever. So I was giving out milk after they received their vitamin A. So it was as a treat, which is just kind of blew me away that they didn't even have milk. Now, some of the communities had it, but most of them did not. And here's a picture of me and Bill, and I can't ever say enough about Bill. He is just, I just don't know how many companies in the world truly have a leader and owner of this type of person. Talk about before when we were saying, you know, thoughts, words, and actions. Bill really is that. He is always in integrity. He wakes up each morning with a goal of how many people he can help. He really, really is about giving. And I've never seen a more generous man in my entire life. Here we are in Seattle at the conference after we returned from Seattle, and I was saying my biggest thing to tell people in the company was, you know, Bill can't do this all by himself. He really, truly needs our help. And, you know, what are we going to do about helping him to help others?
Well, what we can do about that is build our businesses, right, Kathy?
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to jump into the business part of it, and I have to apologize for the screen share. I'm a little hesitant to try to push that button. The last time I tried to get that sidebar off, we totally lost it, and I don't want to lose the slide. I'd rather you have a little bit of it than not any of it. So that's just one of the things that you deal with when you're doing these things, is that technical difficulties that come and go. But Univera, business emphasis. Well, first of all, it has low overhead. It is web-based, a lot of training and tools to access online that you can build your business online, because as you know, most businesses that are in the world today have a strong presence online, and some of the old traditional ways, they still work, but they don't work as effectively as they used to now that we have this. And just think about, Kathy and I were just so excited about the fact that this provides us with the opportunity to reach people all over the globe. So as we expand farther and farther, we're able to reach more and more people, a lot more people than we would be able to if we were having home parties or going to hotels and building our business that way. It can be part-time, it can be home-based, and it can be full-time. So whatever, the choice is yours of how you want to maneuver this. And of course, as you come into the company, we want you to be a product of the products. That's part of it, that you start taking the products and then you share that experience with other people. The Direct Selling Association talks about the top 100 companies. Show me a company over 10 years old with between $50 million and $150 million in annual sales, and I'll show you a company that will grow to $1 billion in annual sales over the next 10 years. Now this is Univera. That's where Univera stands right now. There are some things that I took this training one time. It was called Mindful Marketing Academy, and these are the 15 things that they look at in a company when they're talking about what you should look at when you're looking to join a multi-level marketing company or relationship marketing company. First of all, does it meet your big why? You know, Kathy and I were talking about that. Like sometimes we're in jobs or we're doing things on a daily basis, and sometimes it goes against our inner purpose or what we're supposed to be doing, and we can feel that. You can feel it in your gut. So does the company meet your big why, and can you get passionate about the products? I think that, you know, I can't really sell anything that I'm not passionate about, and I never really intended to sell anything like this, but because of what it did for me, I felt the responsibility to share it. The third thing is to look at is, how was it introduced to you? One of the things that Univera prides itself on is continuing, even though we have presence on the internet, to continue to build that relationship with those that you're working with and to be of service to others. The fourth thing is the sponsor knowledgeable about the internet? So we're fast and growing on the internet, and it's something that I think everybody now has their feet in. Yes, many of us are still on the learning curve, as you can see today in our webinar, but yes, we have a strong presence on the internet. The sixth one is, from a customer's perspective, are there other competing products at equal or lesser price? How does your product stand apart from the others? Well, there is obviously so many products out in the health and wellness field, but one of the things I think is so powerful about Univera is its science and its stretch away from those other companies that are on the market. Stephen Trininsky talks a lot about web-alone, and that's a lot of the products that we see out there that are based on really don't have true science to back it up. Excuse me, that's my dog. But number 7 is the product consumable with reorder cycle? That type of a business is the type of business that will continue to bring you residual income because it's something that people are consuming on a monthly basis. 8, does the company emphasize the product or opportunity on the training call? 90% should be product focus. And why is that? It's because it should be about the other person and helping the person to feel better. And Univera definitely, I think, we want you to be a product of the products. Front end loading, beware. Does the company require or encourage a big front end purchase to get started? Univera, at the lowest part of coming into the company to get the starter pack and to get the 2 primary products that we talked about, Extra and Govera, is $189. And at the tall end, to get all the products, to get a chance to try out all the products so that you know what you're talking about when you're introducing them to other people, is like $9.99. So there isn't this big front end loading where you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars just to get your foot in the door. And you don't have to keep an inventory. And also, there was something that just slipped my mind that I was going to say. Might come back to me before we're finished. But so how many years has the company been in business? Usually if it's under 5 years, you have to be careful because they haven't really reached the stability or have developed a strong foundation, and so they may come or go. So that's one thing to look at. Univera has had a solid foundation for 15 years, solid foundation in that Bill Lee has made sure that that everything's in place to continue to move forward. He actually has a 100-year plan. And number 11, has the product line expanded or shrunk? Why? Does the company focus on new innovations? We have definitely expanded and continue to be innovative, which is what they're looking for in companies. And we just launched our new skincare, and we just actually upgraded our aloe. We still have the aloe gold for people to buy who really, really love that product. But basically the new research that Univera came across as they were continuing to study aloe showed that they could make it more powerful, and so they did with Aloe Select. So yes, we are constantly focusing on new innovation and making being the forefront of being the best. So number 12, has distributor fees changed over the years, and is it included in the startup package? It's included in the startup package, and it's never changed. $40, right, Kathy?
Yep.
Okay. And then 13, have minimum requirement points changed for advancement? If so, why? No, they have not. They have added, they did, when they got up to higher ranks, they did add an extra leg in there so that it wasn't such a far jump to reach the next level, and that's about it, how they've changed that from the beginning. It's been the same. And 14, are the people who started the company still there with the purpose intact? They are still there. Bill Lee and Stephen Cherninsky are still there, and the purpose of this company has never wavered. Number 15, and the purpose of the company is to bring the best of nature to humankind all across the globe. 15, Shandy, my dog's getting a little hyper out there. I think the postman just went by. How well informed is the customer service rep when you call customer care? And I don't know about you, but Kathy, Kathy, I do recall us talking about it, that most of the time Kathy and I now can put our orders in online because we've been around for a while and we understand the system and everything. But we usually, when we have new people come on board, we like them to call and go through customer service and set it up that way so that we ensure that everything's in place before they get started. And I can tell you from my perspective, every time I've had to deal with them, I've had a really, really good experience. And if I haven't, I've been able to get whatever the situation was cleared up almost immediately by talking. They pass it off. If they can't answer the question or they can't take care of it, they pass it off to somebody else, and so I get a pretty quick response. I don't know how you feel about that, Kathy, but
I've always had great service through the customer service. They're really great people.
Mm-hmm. And so we have, and I'm sorry about the slide here, our experienced leadership team. I'll start with Tom Zimmer, who is our CEO and president. He has 40+ years of marketing and business development experience, successful track record in solving complex business issues with results-oriented strategies. We are really excited to have him on board. And of course, Stephen Cherninsky, who is our Chief Science Officer, and I'm so excited. I just heard he's coming to DC, and I'm hoping to take a group up there on October 1st. See him speak. He is the innovative developer of Univera's life-changing product line. He's considered the guru of anti-aging because he says that disease and illness is not the problem. It's aging, and it's a metabolic syndrome problem, and we need to get at that root cause. He's the lecturer and advisor to the members of the U.S. Olympic team. And he's, you know, as Kathy talked earlier, a well-known author. And Bill Lee, last but not least, and I wanted to finish up with him because of the fact that I just think it's so powerful that this owner and chairman, because he is fulfilling his father's legacy, and he's a global entrepreneur. He is known as an international philanthropist, and for cultivating a culture of service. That's what he's known for. And I mentioned it a minute ago, but he has in place a 100-year business plan for this company, and has done everything and will continue to do everything to make sure that that comes to fruition. The timing is right. Why? Because there's two emerging trends in the economy right now. We see it all over the place. Booming billion-dollar business, preventative health, anti-aging, performance, and weight loss. Also, the big, huge push for relationship marketing, multi-level marketing, internet marketing, attraction marketing is web-based business ownership. So if you don't have your company on the web, you are behind the times, and your company will struggle because of that, because you can bet that there's some other company that's out there that has that presence. So relationship marketing is the ultimate social business model, and technology is redefining perceptions of what it is all about. That was from the Wall Street Journal. Kathy, the slides are still showing, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Let me see here. Unique advantages of relationship marketing. I talked about that already. Low overhead, web-based, high profitability. There's a low-cost entry. Training is online. We have a simple development system, and I'll talk a little bit about the business part, that simple development system, in a minute. You can start your business immediately leveraging the online content and web-based conferencing that we have. So this is basically our levels, our rank levels, and we also have bonus levels too. And from what I understand, this is the only company I've been with, only multi-level company I've been with, but those that have come into our company from other companies have said that they've never seen a compensation plan quite like this, and that it pays out on 3 different levels, which is pretty exciting. So basically, though, the simple model that I was telling you about is if you start at the bronze level, if you get 4 people to bronze, you'll get to silver. If you get 4 people to silver, you'll get to gold. And if you get 4 people to gold, you get to platinum, and it goes continuing on like that. And you can see underneath the level how much money you can approximately, it's an estimated guess of how much you could make per month. So it's not a guaranteed, it's an estimate. And then down below you can see the different first month rank bonus, express rank, consistency bonus. Okay. So how do you get started? You get started by the 2x2 starter pack, which includes 1 extra concentrate, 1 box of extra minis. Those minis are great for traveling and to have at work or wherever you're going. And they also are really good to have with you to, if you want to introduce and share. Sometimes we share the product with people. We'll drink with them. Those little minis are a great way to do that. 2 bottles of Aloe Select. And then the Getting Started kit, which gives you all the basic information about how to get started. Its price is $189, and that's a retail value of $229. So the core is 2x2, the simple formula for healthy living. 2 products, 2 times a day. Univera offers the opportunity to positively change your life and the lives of others. So why wait? Power up your life today. It starts with you. And I think what Kathy and I were trying to emphasize in the beginning too is it does start with you, and it's not really just sitting there and taking products. It's a whole mindset. It's a lifestyle, and Univera has built that culture, that lifestyle, where it's about, yes, putting in the products into our vehicle that we need to help this amazing, miraculous machine do what it was intended to do, and that's push up on repair and push down on damage. And so it does start with us. So I'd like to just give you a few minutes to look over this contact information. We are here to support you, and if we'd love you to connect with us on Facebook. And Kathy and I also have a Facebook page together, which is Sisters on Purpose. We have the name of our other sister along with us, which is www.facebook.com/Kathy, Chris, Anita, and all one. It's all together, no separation in between the names. And you can hook up with us there, or you can hook up onto our Facebook pages here and message us. Just give us comments and feedback on those websites. Also, we have given you our emails here. Kathy's is kathykenny1@gmail.com, and mine is Nita, NEETAYACHT @cox.net. Our telephone numbers, we are always happy to connect with you on the phone if that's your preferable way of connecting with us. Kathy has 970-231-2174. And my home phone is 757, my cell phone actually, 871-7480. We will be continuing to have these Tuesday webinars sharing health and wellness information and products and the business opportunity. And we hope that you'll join us.
Next week for intention.
Yeah, next week, let me come back here.
How do you create a feeling you want to have on a day-to-day basis? Intention.
Intention. Stop sharing. There we go. Hello, hello. I'm back. So, anything else that we need to?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't see any comments in the chat section. So, if you have any feedback, please get in touch with us. And we look forward to connecting. And we'll see you next week when we talk about the power of intention, and then get a little feedback about the what did you just say? Creating just.
How do we create a feeling we want to have on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, that's great. Okay, have a great week.
Goodbye.
About those things that we talked about today. Take care. Bye-bye.